This wasn't an interview. This was a political detonation waiting to happen. One wrong word, one pushed question, and the entire room shifts into chaos. And Pauline Hanson, she didn't blink. She walked straight into a hostile media setup knowing exactly what was coming. And instead of backing off, she went harder. No soft language, no political cushioning. She took a controversial argument and drove it straight into identity, division, and institutional power. And the moment she got challenged, she didn't retreat, she expanded it. Media, universities, politics, all pulled into one explosive narrative about how people are being categorized in modern society. And then she said the line that changes the entire tone of the exchange. Politics isn't comfortable and nobody gets protected from it. No collapse, no apology, just escalation. And now the clip is everywhere.
But Pauline Hanson's had enough of this anti-white, and joins me now. Pauline Hanson, thanks for your time. You plan to ask the Senate to vote on a motion. You plan to ask the Senate to vote on a motion that asks it to acknowledge the deplorable rise of anti-white racism and to say it's okay to be white. Why have you done this?
What's your take on this heated exchange? Who made the strongest point? Drop your thoughts in the comments and join the conversation below.
Andrew, the rise and I think it's reverse racism that is actually happening. What's happened in the past, yes, people of Aboriginality, Torres Strait Islanders, it was deplorable what happened in this country. They were denied the right to vote or be part of the census until the 1960s. I think that where we are headed now, and I think there's been pushed about a guilt trip that because you're white, you're a privileged part of our society, people in our society, and I think it's a load of rubbish. I think what they're teaching our universities to the kids, it's just absolute rubbish. And I think you have to stand up and debate it because this is simmering under the surface and people are fed up with it. We are all Australians together. And right from the time that I first entered politics 22 years ago, when I made a comment, everyone is equal. Everyone must be treated equally. And I stand by that. But if we're going to be a close-knit social cohesion in this country, we must, regardless of what colour your skin is, what your cultural background is, people should be treated on an individual needs basis, not on race or colour of their skin.
Well, I tend to agree with you overall. Yes, white people are taken as a lump, privilege, but when you say, for instance, those two girls I mentioned at the top of the show burnt by their father, white, I don't think that they are privileged. They don't need to check any privilege at the door at all. What examples of white racism have you seen that really have offended you?
Well, I'll show you some articles here, and this was in the paper there where this mother was invited by a Russian girlfriend to take her children to a childcare centre in Sydney. And when she turned up the centre, she was then asked, have you been here before? And I'll read this word for word. And this was only last year. And the staff approached and asked, it was her first day, and she said no. She said, I'm sorry, you can't come here. It's a multicultural playgroup. And virtually sort of saying, no, you have to have a cultural background. What is your cultural background? She said, I'm Australian. They said, sorry, you've got to come from, I'm sorry, you can't come here. It's for multicultural families and people who speak languages other than English at home. That was found to be true and exact to the words by the anti-discrimination, and they actually did talk to the centre about it. There's another one here. Have a look at this with the taxation department, where they're saying here, Australian taxation officers online course tests workers' level of racism, sexism and bias. So if you're going to get a job there, they're going to show you pictures of on the screen, whether you're Aboriginal, whether you're white. So they want to see the screen features that use the test to make a split-second decision about whether they are good or bad. Now, they have said the AT officers have furiously labelled the course straight up racist. Now, that's not right, what's happening in our society. Look at this here, and an Asian American woman's tweets ignite a debate. It's okay to make fun of white people. Now, if anyone out there makes a complaint about someone of black who is black or brown, brindle, I don't care, you're held down. Well, get over it, everyone.
You can feel it building, the tension, the frustration, and then suddenly it explodes. This wasn't just another interview. This was Pauline Hanson walking in with one message and refusing to back down from it. She knew exactly what she was stepping into, a media environment ready to challenge and dismiss her, But this time, she wasn't playing defense. She went straight at it. Now let's be clear about what just happened here. Pauline Hanson didn't try to soften her words or walk the usual political line. She doubled down and took a topic most politicians avoid and dragged it right into the spotlight. Whether you agree with her or not, that's the moment everything shifted. Because instead of backing off when challenged, she flipped the framing and turned it into a much bigger argument about division, identity, and how people are categorized. What really stands out is that she didn't just stay on one example or one issue. She expanded it, pulling in media, universities, and institutions, turning a single debate into a wider narrative. That's not random, that's deliberate. It's how a political argument becomes something larger than the moment itself. And this wasn't just about the headline topic. At its core, she was challenging the idea of dividing people into identity groups and pushing the argument toward individual treatment over group-based thinking. The dynamic of the exchange made it even more intense, because instead of shutting it down completely, the conversation kept moving, which amplified the impact. That's where it becomes more than just an interview. It starts to feel like a broader cultural argument playing out in real time. And this is exactly why moments like this get attention, because people will see it completely differently. Some will view it as calling out double standards, while others will see it as oversimplifying complex issues. Then toward the end, she pivots again, away from race and back into politics and toughness. No sympathy angle, no victim narrative, just the idea that politics is tough, and if you're in it, you have to handle it. That shift reinforces her overall stance and ties the whole exchange together. So what we just watched wasn't a meltdown or a collapse. It was a calculated push into a controversial space, delivered in a way that forces a reaction. And the reality is, moments like this don't just disappear. They spread, they get clipped, and they get debated. Whether people agree or disagree, they engage with it. And in today's media landscape, that's what keeps it alive.